Call to order the regular board meeting of the West Valley School District, December 10th, 2025. I'd ask Stephanie, please read the call to order.
So citizens may comment on items appearing on the agenda when invited to participate during that agenda item by the board chair. Citizens may comment on items related to school district business not appearing on this agenda during the public comment portion of the meeting. Citizens, after identifying themselves, will proceed to make comments as briefly as the subject permits. Basic rules of decorum are in effect at all times. The chairperson may interrupt or terminate an individual's statement when appropriate, including when statements are out of order, too lengthy, breach personal privacy rights, abusive, obscene, irrelevant, or otherwise improper. The public should realize that this is a trustee business meeting conducted in a public forum.
All right, let's stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We sign in to do the public comment.
Thanks, Mark. Okay, we'll go down into the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. All right, like there's no correspondence or public comment. So we'll go on to the next. West Valley PTO report. Anybody? Nobody for that? How about the teachers organization report?
I'm here. I don't have anything to update or report, but I'm here if you have questions or need anything.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, that's great. Okay. All right, principal's report.
So for the principal's report, I asked Ms. Handy to come talk about our new 8th grade elective called high school prep. We had this idea in the spring and she took it on as her master's, what do they call it? A cumulative project.
Yeah, totally beneficial.
Yeah, and she like knocked it out of the park. She sent me the final copy a week or so ago and it is fabulous. And, you know, one of our goals was to ease the transition to high school with understanding GPA and impacting them, like elective choices, college credit choices that they needed to graduate, where they want to go. And she did such a fabulous job. So I asked her to share it with you quickly. It's so exciting. The kids love it. I've been in there a couple times and just watching, it's so applicable to where they're at that they are just completely engaged in it. So Mr. Besaw is teaching it. And there are 3 sessions of it. So yeah, we're really excited about it. So we asked her to come share. Yeah.
Okay, go for it. So I'm I'll just pass this around. So, while I'm talking, you can look at it. The first packet here are the lesson plans I made. There's 31 lesson plans. And then the second packet is half of the student journals that I made. So, yeah, like Nicole said, I started this master's program back in January. It ran for 1 year and I graduate on Friday.
Yay.
And it's they advertised it as a women's cohort. So there were 23 of us that started together and we worked through classes and took 37 credits all in 1 year. And I just have to finish up one final paper and then I'm completely done. So we each had to choose a mutually beneficial project that benefits the school and kind of shows our leadership. And we were talking at the end of the spring about this 8th grade course and I took it on. It was, as a music teacher, you learn a lot about curriculum as you start writing a different curriculum that's not music. So this was definitely a big learning curve for me. But in this curriculum, I called it the high school readiness course, high school prep. And there's 31 lessons and all of the lessons are geared for like a 1 hour lesson in class. And some of the topics are time management and organizational skills, developing effective study habits, developing self-advocacy and asking for help, test-taking strategies, and even down to how to deal with friendships in high school. So it covers a wide range of different different things that the eighth graders might see when they hit high school, because we end at eighth grade and then they go to a high school where we're not in the same district, and they'll be hitting a lot of different challenges as they get there. So I've been talking to Mr. Bisa, and so far it's been going really well. I presented this to a committee last week at U of M, and they passed me, yay, and everything seems to go pretty well. In each of these lessons, there's a PowerPoint, a YouTube connected to each PowerPoint, some worksheets, activities, and like a beginning bell ringer question and an ending question for every lesson. So 31 lessons total. There's only 29 days in a trimester though for an elective. So there's plenty of information for the teacher to go through and choose what's important, and yeah. And I think that's all I have.
Great.
Yeah.
Do all students go through this?
That was my question. Did everybody go through it?
It is an elective, but there are 2 sections right now and 1 section in the third trimester. So there's 60 to 70 kids who are in this course right now.
But
And how
will
many
all of
kids
them
do we
phase
have?
through it in eighth grade?
Not
Or
all
no
of them.
necessarily? Okay.
No.
We tried to put everybody in it, but we just don't have enough space. I mean, and so, kids like ranked what they wanted for electives, so we tried to kind of honor that too, but I tried to put everybody in it. It just, there are a few of them that are not, yeah. Yeah, one of the things in eighth grade, they don't have a lit elective anymore. They're doing lit in ELA, and so that opened up an opportunity to have like a course like this, and we have another one called Project History, which Mr. Bisa teaches like a lot of Native American activities, and that one has been really popular too. But yeah, that one he is the one that he did that 2 times in the fall because it's outside, and then this is 2 times in the winter, and then 1 of each in the spring. So yeah, almost everybody will get it. It's just 20 I think will miss.
Yeah.
So did you have templates to start these curriculum and the journals with, or did you start that all from scratch?
I created 1 lesson, it evolved, and then after a few lessons, I got the hang of it, and then they just kind of, that was the template, yeah. I did use a little bit of Chat GPT just to get some ideas flowing and things, but yeah. Yeah, it was definitely, a lot of hours put into this project.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Thanks, Sherry.
Okay, Alicia, did you have anything?
No, I was just gonna let her present. I knew she had this exciting thing to talk about. I don't have too many updates.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Superintendent's report.
Yeah, so I'm gonna invite my own speaker.
I guess I'll talk about the technology then. So we, had finished the camera project, and a continuation of that is I had some extra devices at my house that I donated to the school that I no longer use. So with the help of Bill, we've been drilling some holes, pulling some wires, and I got 4 more cameras up to cover some of the gaps that we had in the school.
Thank you.
What's that bring our total to now?
36 cameras.
36.
Yes.
Which has helped with behavior and tremendously. The kids are aware of where he put them, and it has helped this week, so.
May have done it right when they're coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty dramatic effect.
Whatever it takes.
Right. And then, I've been discussing some, tech projects with, Richard that, we can apply to the Flathead Electric, roundup for safety grants for next year.
Yep. And we did put in our notice that we finished the project with phase 1. So, they ended up choosing an option not to have to come out and physically look at it. I just, had the opportunity to send them pictures of what we did, and so we'll hear back from them on that. And then they can, finalize it on their end and send us the $10,000 support on that. So out of pocket expense, I think we're looking at a few $1,000s, and it would have been a lot more expensive. And the system is incredible. It's much better than it used to be. So, yeah.
Make sure
I'm-
you get rid of some more beer cans out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or trail cams, but that's phase, 30, I think. But yeah, so, not much on my end to report that hasn't already been said. The, gym is making it through. We do have, an issue on the outside of the perimeter of the gym. We did get it repaired, so hopefully it holds up. It's doing fairly well considering all the moisture that we've had. So, yeah, we just continue to cross our fingers, and we will check it over the break, and Phil comes in and we'll definitely make sure that there's no significant water, on the floor.
This will be like the acid test.
Yeah.
It makes it through.
If it makes it through this, it can make it through pretty much anything. We are looking at installing slip resistant mats to our stairs. We did install some in the kindergarten wing because that was kind of our highest need. The tile there gets pretty slick and they have to go down some stairs to get outside, and kids were tripping and falling on that a little bit, but they've helped quite a bit on that. As Marcus kind of said in his deal, is that we're looking at, purchasing more rugs for the building too, so that we can have longer entry ways with rugs to get, feet a little bit drier. And we've got some other ideas about lighting in the field too, as well, that we can install. And we continue to have lots of ideas. And so hopefully we can get, some of our funding for that and some Roundup for Safety funding in the future. And so I want to reiterate that is a really, really cool program that they do. And you just go and give your pitch, and then they, ask you some questions. And I feel like for what they give you, what they ask of you is very reasonable. So if you have family and friends that don't round up their bill, you should tell them to, because it's a really cool program. We have a good situation in that we have some Chromebooks that we're going to advertise, hopefully pending your approval, to sell to community members, with staff, because they are working. They're just not at the level where they can be in a school every day type of use. And they're kind of phasing out, so they're not able to get the support or the updates they need. So that'll hopefully give us some spending money for tech issues that come up, or replacements here and there, things like that.
So didn't we approve them last time? We're just waiting that 30-day,
yeah.
which is tomorrow or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they can go for Dale.
So we are going to start advertising that innovative tax credit as well with the community. So we got a list of properties over a certain amount of residential properties and commercial properties. So we'll be sending a written letter to them specifically to donate, because it is a match dollar for dollar and what they donate for their state tax the following year. Last year we were able to raise almost $30,000 with that, around there. And that's been giving us the opportunity, as Maggie put it, to say yes to a lot more than we have in the past.
Are you able to include any of those things in that
Yep,
letter?
yep, we did put some of that in the letter this year. So last year was kind of our first aggressive push into that. We didn't have a lot, but yeah, I think we're in a good spot.
Send an email out too with the info, like a separate email.
Yep, and in the newsletters and all that. So yeah, hopefully we can, match that. I think the response was really positive on that. People really felt that they were giving to a good cause, and it was really neat. We had donations up to like 5,000, and then as small as 25. So it was really cool.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Montana tax credit.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a no-brainer too.
Dollar.
You're gonna pay in.
Say where your tax money's going.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you can basically, like you said, say where you want it to be spent. Right? So that's really cool.
So it's been able to, like, some of the things that we did was like the math counts, like things that are directly affecting students that either they would have to fundraise for, or we'd either say no. But like when Peter wants to take kids to the math counts contests, and I think Raya Didi wanted us to do a book I don't quite understand it, but like a book reading contest or something that, that's in Ronan and things like that, that we normally would probably not either say no, or they'd have to fundraise, or parents would have to fund. We're able to say yes to some of those things. And then I think we, something for robotics, what were we gonna do?
Yeah, we were able to fund robotics requests.
I think a printer or
Yeah.
color printer or something like that, so
So that they're not having to come down to our lounge and get it and stuff like that.
when
Which
no
is,
one's around
which,
and
right,
stuff,
which has privacy issues and things like that too, for sure.
so.
Yeah.
That's all that money that
Mhm.
is, yeah.
Yeah. So we've definitely tried to keep it that if it affects kids, then we prioritize that first. So it doesn't go to like funding, salaries or anything like that, that it's money well spent. So, yeah, then so that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll go into the action items. The approval of the bills.
You have the attachment here, again, the credit card or BMO financials just listed by card, but then I have a breakdown further on what would be paid. Like the third page in, and you can see each card, what money was spent on. Individual charges. And then we have the student activities. And then the very last page is the budgeted versus actual. And I did it a little differently. So the one page is budgeted funds. Those are the ones that we had to do either our permissive levy for, or anything that we had to budget for through OPI. And then the non-budgeted funds on the back page, and those are like food service, miscellaneous programs, which are like our title or anything that doesn't fall under a category and that's kind of money in, money out type funds. Our interlocal is back there because it's not really budgeted at the state level. These are all things that are budgeted locally here within the school. So I just kind of split it up a little bit so that you have the budgeted versus non-budgeted.
I have a question on the page 2.
Yeah.
A charge for Rocky Mountain Print Solutions for $2,705. And then it's coded as electricity.
No, it actually is weird. Flathead electricity it's up. Yeah, it's kind of a weird spacing. Okay, you had me panic there for a moment. The other, it's 147 to the printing. It's for tax forms. Whew, good question.
Assuming the money we spend in the technology fund doesn't necessarily track with the rest of the funding, like we're at 59% already spent.
Well, that's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up because, so like, we have made the decision to purchase like our 100 Chromebooks. So that's in there, that's 59%. That's what's taking up so much. And that's what left us in the negative. And partly is we're trying to avoid the tariffs because we've already seen, like Marcus gave us the example of when we purchased the first camera, it hit, by the time we went back, what was a month later, a $240 camera was now a $260 some camera. So they're passing, and he's getting notification from companies that they are starting to pass on the tariffs. And so we made the decision to go ahead and purchase, even though it left us in the negative. But overall, we're at 59%. So it's like a slowdown, and I think Richard sent out an email yesterday speaking to that a little bit too.
And so the way that we're funded too is we get funded in waves. We just haven't hit that second wave yet.
Right.
Property taxes were due in November. And so once that comes in, then those accounts will not be in the negative. So
Or
it's
it'll be-
money that we have.
yeah. Right, or it's money that we,
Don't have it, but we've allocated it.
Right.
And it's coming, so.
And on the Chromebooks, remind me, it was like a 5-year like recycle that we were trying to get through or something like
Yeah,
that?
yep, we had about 900, I want to say, that we have to replace, and so we're trying to chip away at it, and if we wait, you know, then we're just gonna end up paying a lot more because of the tariff issue on that, so we're trying to get ahead of that a little bit and kind of hedge to protect ourselves from, you know, a bigger bill later, but if we do it now, we're gonna save about a couple $1,000s in the long run.
And we kind of, Richard and I kind of talked about a number that we would like to replace each year, and we're at about 150 we'd like to replace each year, so that.
Yeah.
Because most of these were purchased with COVID money.
Yeah.
And so now they're all gonna start cycling out, so we're gonna replace, and we're strategically placing them, you know, so the higher grades are getting them. Sooner rather than later, because they rely on them a lot more, so.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to start doing that with staff devices as well, too, so we don't have as many to replace, but the staff devices are a lot more expensive. So we're gonna, yeah, try to hedge our bets with that and get more purchased this year, just so we can get them replaced faster for cheaper. But we don't want to get into a situation where we replace too many, because then we get into the same situation in the future down the road where we have so many going out, you know, at the same time. It's kind of our best approach at a affordable yet, you know, manageable replacement process.
I think we've been trying to get that in order for a while, I kind of a manageable.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of that tech levy of getting that back, because we didn't have the money to do it
Correct.
before. We've talked about it for like 4 years, but we just haven't had the money to be able to do it.
Correct. Yep, without the tech levy, we would be in
Yeah,
a
wouldn't be
huge,
able-
Right, because we,
huge hole.
from the state, we get about 6,000-7,000 a year at most. And so the tech levy brings that to 80, or adds 83 to that, so we're at 91, you know. That's what that 59% of the 91 in total.
Hmm.
So.
That's what allowed us to be able to do it.
Finally.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye, opposed? Okay, now, go on to the, human resources personnel activity report, which is hiring of coaches.
Yep, got basketball coaches 5th through 8th grade. We've got one stipend on there that's gonna be split amongst 2 people, but it's a couple of people per grade level, 1 and 7th. And I recommend those coaches for hire.
Thank you to Nicole. She really worked with Terry on getting the coaches hired and sending out an interest letter to and broadened our
Cool.
pool a little bit, and she basically led the interviews and really worked with Terry. So I appreciate all her hard work on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did see those go out. On 7th grade, how many girls, do we know how many girls? I mean, they're gonna be fine with the one team.
I knew you were gonna ask that, and I thought I should have, without that right in front of me, I can't remember, but yes, I think they will be. The 8th grade actually is very low for 2 teams. But there's 14 of them, which puts 7 on a team, and if we have an eligibility or sick, but we'll just hold during the season. And part of that was we just had 2 really good coaches, and it was probably a better situation to have 2 separate teams. I don't want to tell you the wrong number for 7th grade. Do either of you remember what it was?
I don't
On a
remember.
sticky
offhand,
note,
but
and
it felt inappropriate to split it. you know,
yeah.
it felt-
And we, of the coaching pool that we had, these are good choices, and we didn't really have another one for 7th, so I think it'll work fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I saw you guys did ask like who would be interested for girls. So that you kind of got numbers ahead of time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we knew coaching wise. I
Right.
mean, you wanna kind of maybe just walk through the process, cause I know there was a little issue with the boys side of it.
So we sent out an interest form first, to the girls' parents, just to get interest before the deadline. And then when we started advertising for coaches, we put, notifications on the gym, in case the boys' coaches wanted to do it. We sent out emails to parents, we put it in the newsletter. I believe we had 9 or 10, maybe 10 people put in interest. Then we contacted them. One person didn't respond. One person we decided not to offer an interview to, and then we interviewed everyone else, and they're all really good candidates. They have the right perspective on what we want for middle school athletics, and they then had to have a final deadline for actual signups. So the 7th grade one was a little kind of off, I do remember, because one of the girls whose mom's is coaching and still not signed up. So and we always have those at the end, like I decided not to, or I'm going to. And that's kind of how we went at it. And I actually, like I said, I feel good about the people that we hired and where we're at with the kids and the amount of kids. And I want to say 7th was only like 12, but I'm
Yeah.
not
That's
quite.
I would say 12 or 13. It was just,
Yeah,
it was
it was
not
12.
enough to split, because even at the 8th grade splitting 7 and 7, I think that they're gonna try to practice together so that they
Yeah.
can pull people if there's issues.
Yeah,
for
I'd like
8th
to
grade
see
for that
12.
7 and
I mean, that's
7.
what I have in my head, but without
Yeah.
favorite.
Same,
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
updating that process and everything. We appreciate it.
And it was a lot sooner this year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can
Season.
do that for sports to kind of get a game plan ahead of time. I think it'll be
Yeah.
fun.
And I think with the 8th grade, I mean, I kind of looked at the list, we'll just watch the girls and I'll just keep on them for eligibility, and as we lose a couple, we're gonna be in trouble. They're gonna be playing the whole game, the next group, but yeah, I think it will be good. It'll be a good season, and we're excited about the coaches. Some of them, one of them came from Stillwater, has lots of experience, so yeah, it'll be good.
Great, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the human resources personnel.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Unanimous. All right, C, out of district agreements, approval of the current West Valley students moving out of district.
actually, Marilyn, we changed the agenda, and it's actually we have a kindergartner moving in. Yeah, I gave you the new one today,
Here it is.
and we changed it before it was posted.
Here we go. I'm using one I got Monday, but it's.
Yep,
not updated.
yep.
Okay, there we go. All right, so approval of new kindergartners starting on 1/5/26.
And it's someone, our kindergarten numbers are down, so that's fine, but they also have family members here, so they are coming in both ways. They're gateways both ways, so.
So it's just one that we're approving then?
Mhm.
Is all?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the one new kindergartner starting 1/5/2026.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. All right, the Bridge to Health Alliance. Okay, Maggie, if you wanna go into that.
Well, I think Richard sent out the page, I put together a little informational page on it, and, the teachers voted on it and they were in agreement with it. We put the option to say yes, no, or if they didn't take insurance and didn't want to vote, it could be not applicable. You could vote either way, they could use any 3 of the options. Basically we have to let Bridge to Health Alliance formally know by December 19th, if we are in. Once everybody around the state has committed, then they'll be able to say, yes, it's a go. I mean, it's looking very good, because from what I've heard, like a couple of the big AA's, because we have to have 12,000 employees, not employees and dependents, but 12,000 state school employees and 150 different districts to do it, and it's looking very
It's looking
good.
Very good, yeah.
As far as,
Valley schools, Maggie, how many of the Valley schools are looking to do this, do we know?
Yeah.
the majority of the ones out there are, I think the only ones that might not be are ones that you might typically kind of think they can't get, like I know Marion had a hard time getting stars passed. So, it's ones that maybe sometimes move just a little bit slower, but their business manager is in favor of it. And she's trying to work with.
Yeah, the larger schools are all in.
Yeah, I've heard that KPS is on board, and probably because they also have a self-insured portion. So that they can still potentially run their self-insured piece that they live and die on. And, but we obviously, we don't qualify for that, nor would I want to be a self-insured. But anyway, if we look at where, I don't know if you remember last spring, we ended up moving away from Blue Cross Blue Shield because they gave us a 24% rate increase. And so we went with JPT, Joint Powers Trust, knowing that it was probably just a stopgap until this got started. And even that went up 8%. From where we are right now, the average of the three plans, it's only going up 0.76%. The $2,000 deductible PPO is going up 4.14. The $5,000 high deductible insurance plan with 100% in co-insurance is going up 1.48%. And the actual high deductible with an 80/20 co-insurance is going down 3.32. They have multiple, I think in the handouts I gave you, they have multiple plans to choose from. They actually just added another plan that's a $3,400 high deductible with 100% co-insurance. And my guess is it will, fall somewhere probably in the 2 to 3% of where we are currently. But I think it would behoove us to maybe offer that to our people, because sometimes 5,000 seems a little bit daunting, where they might choose to do a $3,400. The other thing I think we'll see too is that, like if you have people who have a teacher here and a teacher somewhere else, we might see more, people going with their homeschool insurance, and which versus being a dependent, or bringing their dependents here. I think we'll see a lot of more people on our insurance plan. And then once everybody has turned their paperwork on the 19th and it's a go, then they will start looking, they do plan on carrying dental and vision and like life and disability. They didn't want to invest the time and effort into looking for that until they know that the health insurance is a go. But they will have it ready by spring to give us a proposal for the dental and life as well. Which it sounds like they are actually going to, like right now, our eye insurance is with VSP, and there is only one carrier or one provider who sees you that actually takes VSP. And that's in Columbia Falls, and he's scheduled months out. But now you can buy your hardware, your contacts and glasses at Costco, and so it's still beneficial. But as far as your actual exam, it's not that great. And they don't usually work, their goal is to not have VSP, it's to actually work with the providers and have what they call open access benefits. The other thing is it's the third party administrator is through Allegiance, which has actually been very good. When I was at KPS, that's who Allegiance was, the third party administrator for a long time. I don't know if they still are, but they were very good, paid things on time. The other Allegiance works with, I think they said basically almost every doctor. So you're not gonna have to worry about, are they in network, out of network? You're not gonna have to worry about any of that. So, and then like I've thrown out some random questions to them, like, well, is this covered? And what is this covered? And so far, everything they come back is either the same as what we have now or even slightly better. So.
And if we found out, there's any advantages to employees that, like spouses that work in a district or different districts, are there advantages to being in this insurance group? Do they get a reduced?
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. I don't know. So like if you have two in the same district, yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if I can send that off to John Dorn, and any question that I've asked, they've been really responsive. And the same thing, I'm in this group of other, what they call SBO, school business officers around the state. And believe me, these people have lots of questions. I've shown Richard my inbox, and they're always good at getting back to answer all the questions. And so, and also like the other thing that's gonna happen is, and it doesn't matter to us, but if this happens, Must will actually dissolve. And so basically, everybody who's on Must is either gonna come on or they're gonna have to find something else, because Must will dissolve. And one of the things they said is that right now they compared their pharmacy coverage or, and prices to the Must program, and it's 24% lower, so pharmacy prices could be lower. Some of the other things is, that also just came out this week is that what's called run out claims. So if this is a commitment for 5 years. But if after year 3, they want to increase it too much for us, we can step back out. And one of the concerns was, well, would we be responsible for what's called run out claims, so claims that keep coming in afterwards, for whatever reason. And it just came out this week that we will not be responsible for run out claims. So if we were to drop them, then we're done. We're severing ties. Sometimes with trusts, you can get into a situation where you leave and you're still having to pay that out, but they said, no, that won't happen.
We know how many are in Must, maybe participants that are currently in Must right now.
I don't know.
Do we have that with that JV Trust at all? Do you know?
Yeah, and
The
as far as
runout?
I know, the run out, I do not believe we do.
Okay. And then, cause JV Trust, I know we went to it because there was an 8% increase versus a 24, but there was still a cap on it on an increase. Wasn't there a cap of like?
They
12%
promised-
or something?
They promised this next year, just for 1 year, that it would not be more than another 8% increase or 8.5.
Yeah, so it's still,
So it's still higher than what
yeah.
we're currently being quoted here.
Mhm.
And the other thing is, what makes this unique is that the $40 million that the legislation promised to put in there, if for some reason they've done all their work correctly and they start to potentially turn a profit that would put them over that, they will start giving money back to the districts, because the minute they make more than that 40, they have to pay that 40 million back. So that keeps them from driving up prices to make profits for themselves. And it keeps it, so it's truly something to help pool, get the school districts to pool together. And of course, everyone knows the basics of insurance, that the more people in a pool, the higher claims are not going to affect as much as that's the one thing, is that right now we are standalone. So our claims, high claims here within West Valley affect us a lot. That could have been the case for the 24% increase in Blue Cross Blue Shield. But when you get a much larger pool, then if our school has high claims and others do not, then we kind of balance each other's out. And then if they find that we are, after year 3, if our claims or what they are predicting for us, is we're coming in at less, they will start doing giving us some rebates back to the school. So.
Maggie, I read that Bozeman gave preliminary approval for this. Do we know other AA's that are given?
I verbally heard that KPS it has. I don't know. I feel like everything,
Close to, and they're the big enchilada.
my guess is everything's gonna happen either last week or this week, because that's when the board meetings are.
This is when the board, yeah.
And they have to be done by the night.
Yeah.
The decision has to be, we have to make the decision today and then vote on it for our school. And then we have to officially sign up, go to the portal and sign up. And I think it's kind of one of those things where we're all just waiting for each other to pull the trigger, is how I feel.
So if we decide to go forward with this and for some reason the whole thing fizzles out,
Then we go back to Marsh McLennan and we can either choose to stay with JPT or, look again at.
Yeah, start it over.
Start it over, like we
have
do.
time to do that.
Yeah. No, that's another reason why they're doing it right now, so that they know before we all start to get our bids in the spring.
Approving it lets us get on the boat.
Right.
Make the motion to approve the Bridge Health Alliance.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on that? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, unanimous. We'll go on to the next, the trustee resolution, regular board election. All we're doing is just telling the election board that we want to have a trustee election, right?
Correct. Correct. Normally we do this in January, but they changed some deadlines, and so it has to be done by tomorrow, it has to be filed. So we've got it all, I've got it all ready, scheduled to be sent tomorrow morning as soon as we pull the trigger. Actually tonight at 6. Actually, it's tonight at 6. I have the email set to go out.
Yeah. Highly recommend that.
Yes. Yes, and well, we have to actually, this is the one, this isn't even the one that, the next one is the memorandum saying we want the county to run the election. This one is the one that, like, it is mandatory that we have to do it because we have 2 trustee positions. So it's kind of there's not an option.
For election.
Stephanie for 3 and then Mark for 1. And yes, I've already handed in their candidacy paperwork so they can fill that out.
They do it right. We're not gonna let them out the door.
That's right.
I'll make a motion to run the trustee election for 2026.
I'll second that.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, unanimous. All right, we'll go on to the next one, and this is
the memorandum of agreement between the county and ourselves that they will run the election for us and we will pay for any postage and printing that is needed. Last year we signed one, we have to do it every year. But because we had no other candidates, we were able to pull, so it didn't cost us anything. We just have to get it on the books with the county.
What does that generally cost, Maggie? We know.
I think they said it was like yeah, if you, it's based on your number of votes, our voters and our registered voters in our district. I think we're at like 4,200 or something.
That last levy that they mail out, I want to say it was like 3,500 or something like that.
Yeah, like,
Just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
I think it's broken down to like a couple dollars or 181 a ballot or something like that. I don't know how they do it, but they break it down to our portion of it. So
We're just paying for the printing and mailing, not like for the actual.
We don't even
anyone's time, right?
no, because I mean, they're already there. That's their job. And what it does is it allows us to not have to have people out here. It allows us to not have to have a box that we then have to keep under lock and key, and 2 people have to take it into the county. And it's going to be especially great for right now with the new having to put your birth date on it. They're the ones that can sign, they are
To verify.
thank you, verifying signatures. We don't have to do any of that. So
I'll make a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement for school election.
I'll second.
is there any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, we'll go on to accept the bid from Montana Heating and Cooling to replace the heating units.
Well, this feels like it's been years coming, actually.
Yeah,
This
it
is
has
just
been.
on the agenda. But yeah, I would highly recommend that we accept the bid for Montana Heating and Cooling. We did get 3 bids, and I do have all of those bids. If anybody wants to look at them, they're publicly available, but we would have to come in and request it to look at it. But I feel very strongly that the company that we are recommending is a solid company and has good knowledge of it. The bids were apples to apples with the same stuff, so it's definitely I don't know, I feel kind of like it's Christmas kind of that we can do this, because it's been years that we've been wanting to do this, and they're very, very outdated. And so I would highly recommend we go with that.
When will that project be? Will that be in the summer?
In the summer. Yeah, but it's literally the day that school gets out, they're gonna start it, because it's gonna take about 10 days, assuming all goes well, to do it, and it'll cost, roof repair as well, and in that. But they won't work on it with people here, which is understandable. And they did say that all companies said that it will take time to get stuff in. It could take up to 12 weeks to get stuff in. So the sooner we accept the bid and go forward, the better. This bid will save us from the other bids. The one save us about $60,000 and the other one over about 110,000. So yeah, it was quite a process. It's something that Phil and I have looked at extensively and talked to these people quite often and asked questions. And so
Where's their home base, Richard?
Kalispell. Okay. So that's the other piece. One of them was Missoula based with a kind of a branch here. And so that raised the cost of it quite a bit because then they have to pay, per diem, potentially hotels, things like that. But yeah, there's not a lot of companies that can do this. So it's pretty good that we were able to get a solid 3 bids too. So.
And then on the other, does this replace all the heating units
No.
or there's like some, if I'm remembering right, coming up down the road
Correct.
too?
There are some down.
It's like a phase.
Yep. This is the kind of the main brain though of it all too.
Mhm.
So right now our current system doesn't talk to each other very well. It goes down all the time. There's different areas that struggle. And so we're constantly restarting, redoing, things in the morning. And this will give us a system that is appropriate for our size and allows the systems to talk to each other so it can be more automated, things like that. So we'll have a lot more local control over it too. So that's a positive that we haven't had. So the heaters down the road are not as in dire straits. This is the big machine and it's the one that is failing us sometimes.
And so will the control still be through that FICO
No.
or whatever? It won't any
No.
longer. Okay, good. We'll have more local control.
Correct. That was a huge selling point as well.
That's good.
Mhm.
Well, and also, didn't you say that he actually used to work for FICO and he's actually worked in the building?
Yes.
So he's familiar with our building,
Yes.
which is good too.
Huge,
So,
yeah. Yep.
and as far as funding goes, I don't know if you remember this summer, we put money into our interlocal with this in mind. And so that's where it will come from.
Yeah.
So it won't,
And
Building reserve plus
Same
reserve.
kind of thing as TEF, like thanks to the voters.
Yeah,
This was one of
yeah.
the things that we wanted to do. with
Absolutely. We were able to fund, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
That levy really, really helped. So it's the reason why. really.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Montana Heating and Cooling to replace the heating units.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're done. Thank you, Betty, for coming. Thank you, Sherry, for your presentation. Great.
You probably want this back, Sherry?
Good.
Just shred it.
I wanna look at it. I never remember that.